Hi everybody, I'm Carl and welcome back to Knack 3D Designs. In today's episode we're going to go ahead and install the upper and lower covers on our circuit board assembly and install our cold build plate. So let's get started.
Alright, so I've gone ahead and put the cover up with one screw in place just to keep everything lined up. We've got our power coming out to our fan. I'm going to go ahead and trim this back. There, probably right there will work. Again, we'll just go ahead and cut the yellow wire out back here. Now, for everyone out there, if all you were doing was hooking up this fan, you go ahead and solder this connector to it, and we'd be done. Unfortunately for me, I'm also hooking LEDs up to it. So I'm going to have to make myself a little Y splitter here in just a second. Alright, so now for all you people out there building a printer and not putting LEDs on it, all you will do now is go ahead and make this connection, and our last wiring connection is done with the exception of the panel due. Next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this panel back off, take our slide tray out, and fix all of our wiring into our top cover, and then put this back on, and then we can put our other build plate on and put a belt on it. Alright, now before we can go ahead and secure our top cover in place, first thing we do is we need to get our wiring harness all squared away. Now, you remember we put these folds in it so that we weren't blocking the exhaust from the power supply fan. What we're going to do right now is we're just going to tape this down nice and flat so it stays that way. I've got some cheap blue, I believe it's cap-on tape. I'm just going to go ahead and pull a bunch of pieces of it off, and then we'll go ahead and stick them onto the ribbon cable to help hold it flat. Now that'll stay nice and flat like that. What we're going to do now is, you may have noticed there's little notches in the side of our panel at the top. They're designed for sliding a zip tie through so that we can pull all of our wiring back. Above the cable. It's really designed where you just take another one, slide it right over. Tighter you pull, the longer part of that will lock into place. And you don't make all of them that tight. You need to keep a couple of them loose so that the wiring can move. There's one wire keeps popping out of the groove. The nice thing is you can double up some wire loom and it will help it lock better into place. And I'm going to put one more here across the top. This one I'm not going to make as tight. Just something to kind of help keep the wires guided. So I've got all of our cables up nice against the top, so our tray will slide down in nice and neat. Now all I left to do is do a test run with it before we go ahead and secure the cover down. Cover will sit down nice and snug like that. Grab our slide tray. Hold our two plugs. Right. Looks like I need to put just a fold right here so that it runs in nice and neat. Otherwise, looks like we're good. Pop that connector loose, slide a little further, undo our power connector, hold our cables up out of the way, and slide our power supply circuit board right on out. Now we're ready to go ahead and clip these off, and then we'll put in our T-nuts and our screws, and we'll fasten this in place. The way to do this is to pop the cover up out of the way. You know exactly where to put your T-nuts. You've got 5 down each side if you printed the one piece. You have 6 down each side if you printed it into 3 separate sections. Alright, now our top cover is in place. We need to flip it back over, put the bottom cover on, and then we're ready to install our belt and our LCD display and do some testing. Now our bottom cover again has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you printed it in one piece, or 6 if you printed it in 2 pieces. Then you'll need 10 more T-nuts and 10 more screws. Metric 5 by 8s, I believe they are. There we go. Top cover, bottom cover on. Last thing to do is hook up our power connector for our 12-volt fans. And the one over here for our stepper motor fan. And our nice LEDs I've got set up for Midnight Giant. Last thing to do, set it up, put our second half of our build plate in place, and put on our belt. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to install our cold side build plate. You'll need 6 T-nuts, 6 of your 18 millimeter to 20 millimeter, give or take, well actually like 16 millimeter, 20 millimeter, give or take how thick of a insulated washer you put on it. You need those 6 of those, and we'll use 6 more of our high temp washers as well, just in case any heat does transfer into this plate. What I'm just going to do right now is I'm going to pre-position all of our resin washers. As best I can. And now I'm going to try and very carefully lay the plate in place. We're now butting it up against the hot plate, though we will put a small space in there. Now I'm going to use a very technical way of spacing this out. I'm going to put a couple cards in here. Pull out our cards. And now we have both build plates intact, or installed. Next thing we would need to do is go ahead and install our belt. Now personally, I recommend before you go ahead and adhere the build tack sheet to it, go ahead and just put your metal belt in place and tape it on, put some painter's tape on it, and get your levels calibrated and do a couple test prints, make sure everything's functional. Then go ahead and do your build tack sheet, put it on and recalibrate to your build tack sheet, and you're ready to roll. It's much easier to get to everything underneath here before you install the belt. It is possible to get the belt off after it's all put together in one piece, but it is not easy. So, and I will cover that in a future video as well.
Alright, so that wraps up today's episode. Now if you'd like to help support the channel, future development of the White Knight, and any other future projects, there are several links in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.